I feel like I've seen this too many times, bro. Could Batman create a contingency plan for Thor? And if so, what would the plan be? We really gotta talk about this because I feel like a large portion of y'all genuinely think that Batman versus Thor is genuinely possible. That's not Superman versus Batman. That's completely fucking different. This nigga right here, this is not Superman. This is a magical, primordial, godlike being. No, a literal god, actually. Not a godlike being, an actual god that has a magic fucking hammer that does what he says, bro. Like, he has no kryptonite. He has no real known just physical weaknesses like that, bro. Long story short, he doesn't have too many exploitable weaknesses for Batman to really get past. I hate to break it to y'all, but even Batman fully outfitted with the Hellbat armor stands no chance against Thor. I promise you. I'm so sorry. There's legitimately nothing Batman can do if Thor decides to fly 45,000 fucking feet in the air, call down a massive divine fucking lightning bolt, and drop down to the fucking sky and slam the lightning bolt on his ass and put the hammer on his forehead, bro. Now, he won't necessarily die. The Hellbat armor is able to withstand that kind of abuse, but he's not gonna overpower Thor either. Therefore, he has no chance. If you can't overpower that nigga, there's nothing you can really do. Clearly, with overpowering Thor off the table, the only thing he has left is using his fucking mind. Think of a plan to beat this nigga mentally. How can he go about beating this nigga? And in my years, I've also heard the argument that Batman might be able to take Mjolnir from Thor because he might be worthy of wielding it. Long story short, a major part of being worthy to wield Mjolnir is being willing to kill to protect those that cannot protect themselves. Like deadass, one of the major parts of being able to wield Mjolnir is being able to kill. Therefore, if Batman does not want to kill, or he's not willing to kill to protect those that cannot protect themselves, he's not able to wield Mjolnir, bro. So that shit is off the table. Like, that's not the only thing that's required to wield Mjolnir, but having the ability, being willing to do so, is a major part of it. So this is the only possible way I think that Batman can have a contingency plan to be able to take down Thor, bro. For one, I'd say he'd have to know about this encounter he's gonna have at least 2 to 3 years in advance. Granted, this nigga does not even exist within his own multiverse. Batman has a Thor within the DC universe, but he's not this kind of Thor. So a large part of that 2 to 3 years is gonna be spent researching this nigga and figuring out how he works and how he operates. Obviously, he's gonna also want to wear the Hellbat armor. That's gonna be the only thing he can really use to protect himself. Genuinely knowing Batman, he's gonna want to separate the weapon from the man. So I feel like trying to separate Mjolnir from Thor is gonna be the first thing he's gonna want to try to do. He might have an entire plan based around making that happen that might actually be able to work, bro. But at the end of the day, Batman's gonna discover something about Thor that he couldn't possibly have accounted for because it's not written down anywhere, bro. He's gonna realize that Thor is still Thor even without the hammer. So once he separates the hammer from Thor, he's gonna realize that Thor is still just as powerful without the hammer, and he's gonna fucking lose, bro. Game over. But at the end of the day, I genuinely don't think that Batman will be able to beat Thor ever unless he has help, like direct help from other heroes that he has as far as in his plan. In a straight up 1v1 Batman against Thor, Batman will lose probably 10 out of 10 times. I'm sorry.